Hi, I'm Seamless, and today is Tuesday, which means yesterday it was time for a continuation of the Track from Scratch Hardstyle edition. Today is the beginning of what will be the last streaming session. For those of you on YouTube, this means in the next couple of editions and a few days from now will actually be when this ends. But this is going to be the end, regardless of whether or not I actually finished a song, because what's left in the song is basically mixing and integrating that new kick that I made that I apparently can't do while I'm streaming. So that's great. I don't really feel too bad about working on that after the stream because I've already showed you how I made that kick on the stream. So that's pretty okay. Yeah, this has been fun. It's been pretty good. I'm going to play this through all the way and then we'll get going. And stuff. There's a lot more to do. I'm sure I'll hear plenty of things I want to do. Some of the arrangements weird, some of the sounds are weird. There's a lot of stuff that's weird, but it's getting there. It's getting close to the point where I'm about to be like, I'm done with this. And then, regardless of how this works, the next track from scratch will be something completely different. Here we go. That's never not going to be funny.
Glory be to the modulators of the universe. We must all modulate our lives. The spectrum of our souls must change, so that we may all record a modulator. I'm recording a modulator. This is my modulator.
All right. Okay. So it's a couple of things. Someone asked in the chat if I'm going to have the new kick. I guess it wasn't anyone that said it, but then I'm probably not going to, because I don't know what happened. I tried to load the preset. It decided I didn't want to load the preset, so that's going to be a problem. I'm not going to spend the time doing it again live. I don't know if that's actually going to end up in the final thing though. Like this particular kick is just weird and unwieldy, but it'll be a thing. The printer style is staying. That's just fact. Don't worry about it. I actually wasn't as upset with how it felt in the beginning as I was when I was still making it. The first thing I want to do was one thing I noticed way over here while I was doing this. I want to do that, but not that fast. So it's going to be just like that. I don't know if I want to make it longer though. Maybe I'll elongate that part. Like throwing an extra beat in there. Actually, I guess it'd be an extra 2 beats. You know how I am about my extra beats. Just like that. So I had a couple ideas for some different tracks from scratch to do in the future. One of the ones that I want to do is I want to do a track where I use as many like of my sample libraries as I possibly can in a single song. So like all of the contact, all of the east west, like this is so superior drummer, like all of that. Just as many of them as I possibly can, all in one song. It's not what I'm doing next, but that is a thing I'm thinking about doing. Another thing I was thinking about doing is doing one that is man, how is this incorrect? Because it's not. Because I'm a smart person. I'm not even in thirds. Yeah, it was right the first time. Damn it. The other thing I want to do. Wait, does that mean if I do this? Ha, that's hurts my brain. Do. Yeah, and then just. Does that interrupt that too much? Yeah, it's way too long. If I wanted to be extra confusing, I could bring the beat back here so that it's like 4, but it's at the time of 3. I have no reason to think that'll work, but I'm going to try to do it anyway. It's just like, fuck the grid, man. Fuck the grid. What grid? I don't have a grid. Yeah, it's fucked up. Everything I do in this section initially feels like a good idea, and then I'm like, hey, it's cool, and I leave it alone, then I listen to it again, and it's like, no! I guess it's got to be that. Like, the alternative is what it was originally, which is the same thing but faster, but I didn't feel good faster. Yeah, it's fine. Someone in the chat suggested I use the kick as an audio file, and that would work, except that I'm gonna be tweaking and changing the kick right up until the last second that this track is done. And if I put it in audio, that means I can't do that without incredible annoyance. Someone else says, oh yeah, someone subscribed, Jimmy621 for 3 months in a row. He's a cool dude. You're a cool dude. Thank you for being a cool dude. Yeah, so that's what living off the grid gets you. Anyway, I'm into that though. So the rest of what needs to happen, like for the most part, there's still more things, but the big thing in the room I haven't done yet is like real honest to God mixing. I've got like right now, like it's not going to sound that much different, but what I need to really like do is account for the kick's punch. And it's not really, I mean, it is about what the sample itself is doing, but it's also about how the sample itself is interacting with everything. And at the moment, nothing is being sidechained. Not a single thing. Everything is being straight up into the master. There's a bit of compression going on that I did a long time ago just to hear how it would feel. And the thing is that this is close. But when I'm talking about the punch is that because everything is being crushed up together, like the punch is pretty much just gone. The kick also needs to be messed with in such a way that it has a better punch than it does having a sample. But a lot of it's going to help with a few selective sidechaining options. This isn't going to be your dad's sidechaining. This is not going to be regular electro sidechain everything sidechaining. This is going to be very selective, very like thought out and methodical, like individual pieces of EQ sidechaining, because it needs to be a bit more of a balance between frequencies, and there's really not a lot of ducking going on in the genre. Sound level fits on 30%. Is on 30%. What? Is this really quiet? Is that what you're telling me? It is pretty quiet, isn't it? Hold on, where's mine? I need my visualizer. That's not this guy, that's this guy. Somewhere way out here. And this is where I absolutely am going to regret how I've arranged my mixer. Which is to say, not at all. Arranged, that is. The regret is a lot. Regret will be plentiful. Test. Well, it's about even with my voice, which is kind of what I wanted. I can up it a little bit. For the most part, though, you're just going to have to turn up. Because, I mean, I could also turn my voice up, but you notice how sometimes it peaks up pretty high up there? This is because I don't actually have my voice being run through a limiter. I have it being run through an onboard compressor on this mixer that I'm using, which means that if I did turn everything up, I'd be peaking a lot. And I don't want to do that. I also did want it to but I wanted to be even with each other so that, like, you don't turn up really hard to hear what I'm saying and then get killed when I turn the song on, which is something that's been happening for a very long time. So for the time being, this is, someone in the chat just said, I'm offended. My dad's sidechaining is the hardest sound design in all of EDM. I will say only to say that your dad probably didn't call it EDM. Oh my God, he might have. Because you might be really young. Oh my God, I forget who I'm talking to sometimes. I mean, you might not be young, but you're probably regular. I don't know what regular means. Shittles? Okay. So mixing is going to involve me listening to things at full volume for a while, which also is going to be me not talking for a bit. So I guess that's this whole discussion about mic and whatever is meaningless. Well, let's do it. I thought of like 11 smarter ways I could be doing what I'm doing right now, but I'm still just going to do it the way I'm doing right now. So the timer just went off, which meant this part's over. And I really only mostly accomplished the sidechaining. But boy, is that ever a lot of sidechaining. Briefly, though, I'm going to go over sort of my logic here. So what we're doing is that for this part, this first part, this melodic drop here, the two things that are happening besides the kick are, well, there's the noise too, which I should probably sidechain, and then there's also the lead and the chords. However, I don't want to do just straight up the whole volume sidechaining. I did that for the chords because the chords aren't as sonically important as the lead is. The lead kind of needs to be there for the majority of the time, and this is a different kind of sidechaining. When I mentioned earlier when I said this wasn't your dad's sidechaining, specifically what I'm talking about is that we're not doing this for a stylistic effect. We're doing this for mixing, for when we want these things to merge together. So we're sidechaining it in such a way that if done properly, or at least done enough that I care, you shouldn't really notice that it's being sidechained. And that's why I picked the particular frequencies that are the most clashing when the kick happens. The kick has a lot of high frequencies, and the kick has a lot of 500-ish hertz. That's like where the kick lives. I don't really have to worry about bass sidechaining because the kick is the bass, and there's bass from the kick. So that stuff is pretty much fine for what it's doing at the moment. And it's just really only the higher frequency stuff, but I don't want to do the volume a bit. I want it to be on top of stuff when it's on top of stuff. So that's why it's very carefully picked, except for the parts that aren't that important. And then what I just set up for the printer bit is that it's only sidechaining the very highest of the highs, because the lower bits, which are in the 500 hertz range, aren't as thick as the lead is, so it's not as damaging when it's being played with the kick. That's the purpose of what I'm doing there. Anyway, we're done with this part. For those of you watching on YouTube, if you have any questions about this, please let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And as usual, have a nice day.